Sup peoples, this is Monica Okami, and today we are taking the 16 personality types quiz as recommended by my good buddy Rainbow. Analyst, architect, logician. This is cool. It's like, oh my gosh, okay. Commander, debater, advocate. So I went ahead and tried to record this test. And I don't know if I'm gonna get the same thing or not, but the first one I got mediator, poetic, kind, altruistic, always eager to help a good cause. This is kind of hard for me to decide if that's me or not because I am a pretty optimistic and helpful person in real life. Certainly not poetic, but I don't know. I normally have a more negative outlook. Like, it seems like I do, I guess, because I don't know. I have a dark sense of humor, and I'm pretty logical about things. I tend to let my head lead my heart, but it's a really cool quiz if you want to take a look at all these categories you could be put into. Plus, the art style is so cute. Anyway, let's go ahead and take the quiz. So it recommends take less than 12 minutes to answer. Answer honestly, even if you don't like the answer. Try not to leave any neutral answers. So that's what I did in the first one. I left a few neutral answers. I guess I'm going to try not to this time and see if that changes anything drastically. Here we go, and we have our questions here. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people? Well, yeah, sort of. I've worked in customer service, so I've had to introduce myself a lot depending on, like, how curious customers are about me, but it's certainly not as hard as it used to be for me. I'd say working in a position where you have to talk to people makes it a lot easier. You often get lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. Abso-freaking-lutely. Come on, check that. Alright. You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. Nope, I have over 1,000 emails in my inbox currently. You find it easy to stay relaxed and focused even when there is some pressure. Yeah, generally. Yeah, I don't really stress out too quickly. It would have to be like at the very last moment to really start stressing me out. You do not usually initiate conversations. Not usually, no, but actually, yeah, it depends on who I'm talking to. If it's a friend, then yeah. If it's a stranger, then no. You rarely do something out of sheer curiosity. This is hard because I do things out of sheer curiosity, but it's not that often. So I'll give it a middle circle. You feel superior to other people. It depends. It depends. If I know the person, generally no, but again, I've worked in customer service and there are a lot of dumb freaking people in the world and it's kind of hard not to. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. No, I don't think so. I'm not gonna lean one way or the other for that one, but I don't think so. You are usually highly motivated and energetic. This is one of the ones I did a neutral on because it depends on my mood. I mean, lately I have, but sometimes I'll go through like, you know, a period of just I guess I'll leave a small agree circle, I guess. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. And there's Rainbow. I had to tell him that I had some recording issues, and then I finally figured them out. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. I don't think so. If my opinion upsets someone, then it's just something they have to deal with. I'm not gonna sugarcoat my opinion. You often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people. No, but sometimes I just automatically start doing it. I don't feel like I have to do it, but yeah. Your work and home environments are quite tidy. This is hard because it depends on your definition of tidy. Like, my stuff is strung all about, but I know where everything is, so to me it's clean. But to, like, my parents or anyone else that would come and see my space, they would not think it's clean, so I'll leave a middle circle for that. You do not mind being at the center of attention. Not really. I mean, if it gets uncomfortable, I'd probably change the topic, but generally, no. If people want to talk about me, it's like, fine, whatever. You consider yourself more practical than creative. No. I'm very practical, but I'm also very creative, so that's hard. People can rarely upset you. No, it's pretty easy for me to get upset. It's just like, all you have to do is really trigger me. But, I mean, it is rare that I get really upset. It's rare that I let people get to me, because people are stupid. They'd have to really attack me personally to upset me, I guess. Your travel plans are usually well thought out. I don't travel a lot. I think this might have been one that I used a neutral for, but, normally someone else is doing the planning for me because I don't like traveling alone. I guess I'll put a middle agree circle for that one. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. No, I can normally relate. It's just hard to show my empathy, I guess. Your mood can change very quickly. Yeah, it's pretty... It depends on just what I start thinking about. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. Yeah, I agree with that. We had another question similar to that. About, like, in a debate, does it matter more if you hurt, does it matter more if you're being honest, or if people get sensitive? I don't remember the exact question, but we basically had this question before phrased differently. You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. No. I mean, it might happen every now and then, that's why I'm leaving that blank, because I might just be impulsive at one point or another. But generally I'm pretty considerate. Your work style is closer to random energy spikes than a methodical and organized approach. I would disagree with that. I'm generally organized and methodical, but I might start with just doing stuff, and then I'll get random energy spikes, but I'm generally methodical in everything that I do. You are often envious of others. No, not really. An interesting book or video game is better than a social event. Absolutely. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. It's not the most important part. You rarely get carried away by fantasy and ideas. Heck no, I get carried away all the time. You often find yourself lost in thought when you are walking in nature. I find myself lost in thought all the time. Honestly, when I'm in nature, I might be a little bit more focused, but yeah. If someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. No, I never get that way. I visibly see people who get that way, where they'll start messaging you again because they think that you're purposefully not responding to them, and it's like, I'm busy, alright? If we were on the phone and I suddenly stopped talking to you, that's one thing, but if it's messaging, you can't expect my full attention. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up smart, kind than smart. Well, if my child grows up kind and dumb, that's one thing. I'd be happy that they were kind. If my child grows up smart and mean, I would kind of understand, like, getting a little obnoxious because you're so smart. But I don't feel like one way or the other is necessarily better. I would prefer them to be both. I think this is one of the ones I had a neutral on, but I guess I'll do a small agree because it's just, I feel like either way would reflect bad on me as a parent. Because if my child is kind, but they're not, you know, if their morals are in the right place, but their brain isn't on par with mine, I'd feel like I didn't share enough of my knowledge with them. Whereas if they were smart but rude, I would feel like, you know, maybe I didn't raise them with enough spankings or wash their mouth out with soap enough, like my parents did. But that's an interesting question. All right, you do not let other people influence your actions. Not normally, but if I ask for other people's opinions, then, you know, I might let them sway me one way or the other. Your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. My dreams are weird. Sometimes they'll have real people and real places, but sometimes they'll be completely different, and that's where I get some of my story ideas, but, It happens. This is one of the ones I had a neutral on. It happens, but they don't tend to focus on it. It tends to take real things and then warp them to be really weird. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace. Disagree. It takes me forever to get involved in social activities anywhere, whether it be work or school. Generally, work doesn't really have social activities as far as I know. Like, we work together, but that's just about it. You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. I'm both. That's hard. I'm gonna give a medium disagree for that. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Nope. I'm pretty on top of everything. Even if I have like extreme feeling that particular day, if I'm just thinking about everything in the world that makes me sad, I generally won't show it, and I'll treat people normally. So it's You enjoy going to social events that involve dress-up or roleplay activities. I rarely participate in dress-up and roleplay activities, but I think I would enjoy it. I rarely go to social events, period, so You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. Yup. You would rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. No, I would come up with a detailed plan. You are a relatively reserved person and quiet person. Until you get to know me, then it's like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with her? If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire a loyal but underperforming employees. To fire loyal but I can't. Oh, when I talk for more than 5 minutes at a time, like, you can't ever tell when I'm editing my videos, but there are long pauses that I just edit out. And now that I'm doing a quiz, I'm talking about everything at once, so it's just like, oh, I'm getting tongue-tied, I can't talk for more than 5 minutes, Anyway, if you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. I feel like it would be difficult to fire anyone ever. So yeah. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. Yeah. I used to do it a lot more, but now that I kind of have my beliefs in place, it stresses me out a lot less. I used to have a lot of stress and anxiety about, I guess, religion and stuff, but now I'm all good. But I still contemplate things. Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions. I talked about this earlier, but yeah, my head is normally in control, like up there when I was talking about emotions and how normally I don't really let that impact how I treat people. That's generally, you know, just like this question. Logic rules over my heart generally. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. No, I have so many freaking to-do lists, and that's how I get my goals accomplished. If you just keep your options open, what does that mean? Do you just wait around hoping for an opportunity to come at you? Like, you have to go ahead and start working on things. If your friend is sad about something, you are more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problem. No, I generally try to help them through the problem. I generally talk them through it and talk about things that they can do to make the problem better. And I offer emotional support too, but I feel like there's so many people who just automatically go for the empathy that I use my head. If I had their problem, I would start doing this, this, and this, and that's what I tell them. But if they, I always offer before I start talking to them, I could talk you through this, or I could just be a shoulder to lean on, it's up to you. And normally they're like, go ahead and tell me what you're thinking, and I tell them, and they'll be like, okay, and they'll tell me how they agree with me and how they're gonna, make changes, or they'll tell me, well, I can see how you would do that, but I'm not going to because of this, this, and this, and I'm like, alright, fine. And the next day, they'll tell me how that affected them, and if they generally shrug me off, the problem is still there, of course, because they're not dealing with it. And then if they do it, sometimes it'll go well, sometimes it won't. It's just really life. That's life. You rarely feel insecure. Honestly, I do have a positive self-body image, which is really weird, but everyone gets insecure. That's kind of, everybody gets insecure. It's just human nature. You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it. I generally come up with timetables. Like, for instance, right now, it's February 10th, and I was trying to get something done by February 15th, and I'm not, like, I got 2 out of maybe 7 things done. I had 3, but then the stupid people changed the requirements, so I have to redo something. But anyways, I don't think it's going to get done by February 15th, but it will get done by the time that it's supposed to be in. So I come up with timetables, personal ones, and then there's like the actual due dates and things. So it's just like, it's no difficulties coming up with a timetable, but the difficulty is sticking to it, so kind of disagree. I think that's another one I had neutral on. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. No, highly disagree with that. I've seen people who are like that, who they think that their way is better, so they won't contribute to the work when everyone decides on something else. It's like, if you think you're right, that's fine. And if the job doesn't get done well enough, bring it up that you were right. Like, I told you so. I get it. Go ahead and be arrogant then, but don't just not contribute to the teamwork. That's stupid. It's like school projects. Did you ever do I feel like everyone did. But you do, group work, and everyone has to contribute to the group work, and someone thinks that their idea is better, but then they just won't do it, but they still get the good grade that everyone worked hard for, except for them. Like, ugh! It's the same thing with normal work. Like, everyone has to get the job done, so just do it. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not. Yeah, absolutely. That delves into, like, religious views and personal beliefs, and yeah, if there doesn't have to be facts. It just, if someone feels a certain way, it might be based on their experiences, and if you don't agree with that, you should still respect that that's how they feel. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. No, I feel exhausted. You frequently misplace your things. No. If my things go missing, I go on a manhunt. Like, my family knows this. Even though my room looks messy, I know where everything is, and if something moves, and I can't find it, I go insane. And I ask everyone in my house, where did my thing go? And if no one has an answer, I'm like, well, it was stolen. It was stolen. The last person who came and visited, they're not allowed here ever again. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Yeah, I do. That has to do with the whole head over my heart thing. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Yes. You would not call yourself a dreamer. No. You usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people. No, I mean, there's when you're in front of people, there's a pressure constantly there that makes it difficult to relax, but I don't get stage fright like a lot of people do. It depends. It depends. I don't really get freaked out, but there's always some kind of pressure there. Generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination. I don't know what this means. I think this is another one I had a neutral on because I just don't know how to apply this sentence to my life. It's like asking me if books and TV and entertainment and those crazy situations that happen are more valuable to me than like things that actually happen in real life, I guess. I would say I do rely, because just there are things that happen in my imagination that would make absolutely no sense in real life, I guess. So I don't get this question. I really don't. Leave your opinions in the comment section, I guess, about this and how you would interpret that. You worry too much about what other people think. I think I already answered that question. Or a previous one just like it. Anyway, if the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. I don't see what the difference would be, honestly. If the center is the dance floor, I would. I'll do a small agree for that one. You have a tendency to procrastinate until there's not enough time to do everything. No, it happens occasionally that I procrastinate and the finished product isn't as good. But normally I get everything done. So I'll do a medium disagree for that one. You feel very anxious and stressful in situations. It depends on the situation. But I don't get that anymore. I used to be that way a lot more. You believe that it is rewarding to be liked by others than you believe. My tongue isn't working anymore, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to end the video here. Just kidding. You believe it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. I mean, being liked is good, but if I'm not reaching my full potential just because I want to be liked, then I'd say no. I think that's fine to reach for the stars, even if people don't support you. Anyways, you have been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things, e.g. in books, art, or movie. Absolutely. What? Unconventional and ambiguous. That's quite a description for entertainment. You often take initiative in social situations. If I have to, but generally, no. I don't. It could be. This might be a neutral one. I'll go ahead and give a medium disagree. I don't really. Oh, it's calculating my score. Oh, and this time I got advocate. Interesting. I think he was in the same category as the mediator that I got last time. Here, let me show you the right path. Mind. Introverted. You know what? Here, I'm gonna take a snip. I'm gonna take a snip of this, and we can maybe put them side by side. The score I got last time with the neutrals and the score I got this time with the non-neutrals. So let's go over this one first. All right. 65% introverted. Yep, I would go with that. I'm more introverted than extroverted. Energy. I am more intuitive than I am observant, which is surprising to me because I'm not so sure that's accurate in my life, but maybe it is. I don't know. Nature. I am 47%, thinking, 53% feeling. This is another one that I'm surprised about because I would say I'm more thinking. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work planning and decision making. 58% judging, 42% prospecting. That's those are some interesting words for that category. I'm not sure which way I lean. Identity. 71% assertive, 29% turbulent. I guess I'm more assertive. It depends. It depends. Alright. Yeah, so both of these were diplomats. So we have analysts, diplomats, sentinels, explorers. I'm surprised that I'm not with the analysts or the explorers, but I mean, I guess I'm not that exploratory. It's mainly in books that I'm exploratory. Well, I like hiking in real life. I like exploring, but not really in life, I guess. But let's go ahead and compare their traits side by side. Alright, so the difference between me using neutrals and not using neutrals. So here, we see that I am more introverted than over here. I mean, I might have answered a few questions leaning to different sides. Hopefully not too much. It seems like they're generally the same ratio. 81%, so I'm more intuitive over here than over here. And nature, more feeling again. That only changed by 1%, wow. Tactics, I was more prospecting over here. Again, I'm not quite sure what the difference is there. Identity, again, majorly, I can't think of the word. But here, more assertive again. So generally I got the same results. So yeah, if you guys want to take this quiz too and see what you get, and let me know in the comments, you can just look in that description and there'll be a link to it for you. It was very interesting. Very interesting. I did not expect either of these results. I probably prefer the advocate over the mediator, to be honest. She's got like flowers and butterflies, and he's got like a wizard wand. No one can stop you from dreaming. Here, let me show you the right path. Alright, that's it for today. Have a good one.